Hello, everyone. You are all very welcome to our live. Sejam todos muito bem-vindos à nossa live. Espero que vocês se divirtam. A gente está muito feliz de poder receber hoje uma nossa ex-aluna da FATEC Guaratinguetá, que tem uma experiência incrível para dividir com a gente. Eu gostaria de dar as boas-vindas, não só à nossa convidada de hoje, mas também aos professores que vão participar aqui com a gente. Já aproveitar para agradecer a equipe técnica aí da FATEC, né? No nome do professor Albert Velenic e também do Pedro, e a equipe de eventos que sempre tem apoiado os eventos aí da equipe de línguas da FATEC, da qual eu faço parte como professora de inglês, tá? You are all very welcome, as I said. Como eu disse, sejam todos muito bem-vindos. Have a lot of fun, divirtam-se bastante. And Aryane, please.
Hello, guys. How's it going? Bom, eu acho que primeiro eu gostaria de me apresentar em português um pouquinho, para dar uma contextualizada, né? Eu sou ex-aluna da FATEC, me formei no ano de 2019, no primeiro semestre de 2019, mas colei grau agora durante a pandemia, enquanto já morava aqui nos Estados Unidos, né? Colei grau fazem 2 meses em gestão comercial e eu moro nos Estados Unidos há 1 ano e 4 meses como au pair. Então, no intercâmbio de au pair, eu estudo e trabalho, eu cuido de crianças e moro com uma família americana. E eu também participava na FATEC como... Eu fui, como é que fala? Assistente de monitoria da Tassiana em 2018 e depois em 2019 fiquei com mais um semestre como monitora da FATEC de inglês e também de espanhol com a professora Regiane. Eu moro aqui nos Estados Unidos já faz um tempinho já, então eu queria compartilhar com vocês um pouco sobre a minha história, sobre o que eu faço aqui, sobre como eu aprendi inglês. E just as a reminder, mostly all the time of our life we're going to be speaking in English, but if you have any questions or if you want to understand something a little bit better and you would like to ask me to pause or to repeat something that you don't understand, you are more than welcome just to place a comment. We're going to be monitoring all of these. And yeah, I'm really glad. I'm really happy. A little nervous, but I'm really happy to be here. So, starting a little bit about the au pair program. I began searching about this program when I was in my last semester at FATEC. It was 2018, the last semester of 2018. I was currently working. I had a pretty nice job. I was an intern at a pretty nice company in Guará, and I was about to finish my studies, and I felt like I needed something new. I felt like I needed to learn English and to improve my English skills. Because one of the most important things that I also want to share with you guys today is that I learned English in Brazil. And I think this is the main topic of this conversation today, is to prove and to show that it is 100% possible for you to learn and to improve your English skills while you live in Brazil. It is not necessary for you to go abroad. It is not necessary for you to live in another country or pay a lot of money for courses abroad to exchanging program. It is not necessary. You can learn and you can improve a lot your abilities to speak a better English as much as you put your effort in it, even if you still live in Brazil. So the au pair program, it works in the matter that I live with a host family in the US and I provide them childcare, which means I live with them. They provide me food and the house that I live in. And there are, of course, a few benefits like a car to myself and time off. And I have 2 weeks of vacation per year. And the au pair program is both a study and a work exchanging program. So this is one of the biggest benefits of being an au pair, is that if you come to the US, or not just only the US, you can go to Canada or other countries of your choice. If you decide on having an exchanging program, you are going to be paying a lot for studying, even if it's just for a few months. And it's just an investment that you're going to put in. So it's just the money that you're going to pay, and you're probably not going to be able to work in return. The good thing is that the au pair is a really affordable program, which means that you're going to pay the exchanging fee, you're going to pay the price for being an au pair, and you're going to work. So you working as au pairs, as I said, the family is going to provide you housing, it's going to provide you food, a few more benefits depending on where you're going and the family you're going to choose. And the family is also going to give you they call it a pocket money, which means that they're going to be paying you weekly for you to have this money all for yourself. So you don't have bills to pay, and you have this money that it's going to be 100% free for you to spend in whatever ways you like or you want to. And só mais um adendo. Se eu estiver falando muito rápido, vocês podem me pedir para pausar, ou então alguma informação que não deu para entender direitinho, pode mandar nos comentários que eu consigo ler tudo aqui e consigo ajudar com algumas respostas em português, né, para as perguntas no final também. E até mesmo se vocês quiserem que no final eu explique um pouquinho melhor, mas bem condensado, o que é o programa de au pair em português, eu também posso fazer, tá? So, coming back to the main topic. So I decided on being an au pair in the end of 2018, and there are some requirements for you to be an au pair. There are a list of a couple of things that you have to do and things that you need to have before coming to the US as an au pair. So the main thing is that you need at least 200 hours, 200 horas, of experience with kids, working with kids. But how do you get these 200 hours as proof that you are able to take care of the kids, that you took care of kids for at least 200 hours? You can volunteer at schools, you can volunteer at daycares, you can volunteer at your church, you can take care of your friends' kids. So, for example, I got the proof of my 200 hours by volunteering at my church. So I was volunteering at my church with the kids ministry for a couple months. And that's how I could prove to the agency that I was choosing that I had this experience, that I would be able to take care of kids because I already had this experience before. And despite of the 200 years would be hard. Despite of the 200 hours that you need of experience, you also need your driver's license, which means that you need your CNH, because you are going to be required to drive in here. At least for most of the families, you're going to be requested to drive the kids to their activities, to drive the kids to school. So you will be required to drive. And also, you are going to be able to take your driver license in here. But before coming, you need an international driver license, which em português a gente chama de PID, que é a permissão internacional para dirigir. So this is one of the documents that you need to get before coming here. And you need your high school certificate. So you need to graduate in high school. You don't need to have a bachelor degree or a college degree. You don't need to. You just need your high school diploma. And you also need to have intermediate English. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's really important for you to have an intermediate level of English before coming. I have a lot of friends that came to the US as au pairs, and with basic English or just being able to understand, but not really being able to speak. And the main thing is that you are going to be working with kids, and you're going to be responsible. You're going to be the responsible adult for the kids when the parents are not around. So if the mom and the dad are not at home, or if you guys go somewhere with the kids, you are not going to be if you're not able to communicate, or even to communicate, be able to speak with the kids, that can be a problem. But also, It doesn't mean that you need to speak English fluently to be an au pair. No, this is far from that. Because one of the main ideas of the program is being able to do an exchanging program. So the families that are hiring au pairs, the families that are looking for au pairs, they already have in mind that the au pair is someone that it's not from the country, and it's someone that it's not going to have English as a first language. So it's someone that is learning English, someone that wants to improve their English skills, someone that wants to be able to speak and to communicate better. So the families they will understand that you are not obligated to speak 100% of a perfect English, a very good English. No, but you must be able to understand and to at least be able to get different tools to communicate. Like if you don't know something, if you have a question about something, or if you want to communicate better, you know that we have Google Translate. There's a lot of tools that you can actually use for communicating better with your host family, or sometimes with some friends that you're going to meet in the program. They're not from Brazil also. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to improve your English by being exposed to the language every day. I feel like I'm talking too fast. Am I talking too fast? If I'm talking too fast, you guys can tell me, and then I can slow down a little bit. So, for my experience, one of the things that I love the most and that I like the most about being an au pair is that you actually learn a lot, not only for taking care of the kids, or because, of course, they become family to you. So, I have 3 younger brothers in here. So, I take care of 3 boys. They are, because when I got here, they were 3, 5, and 7. Now they're 4, 6, and 8. It's 3 boys. So you guys can imagine how my days in here are super quiet and chill every day. And of course, that's a lie. But they're great kids. I'm really blessed for having such nice kids that I take care of. And so the au pair is, in my point of view, it's amazing because you meet a lot of people. You expose yourself to the language every single day, and you have the opportunity to get to know yourself a little better, right? Because I think at beginning of the moment that you step out of your comfort zone, everything changes. So if you go live abroad, you are living in a complete different country with a very different culture, with a language that sometimes you do not speak quite well, or that maybe you're not going to be able to understand 100%. So it's already a lot of challenges that you're going to have to go through, a lot of steps that you're going to have to take daily. But that is the one of the main reasons why I think the au pair program is really good if you want to improve not just your language, but your personal skills. And you end up improving a lot, and you end up learning a lot about yourself too. So you get the chance to learn about your motivations. You learn about how to deal with problems and with feelings that you have every day. And now, especially during COVID times, I know that we were all hit pretty hard by COVID everywhere, but as au pairs, we were hit too. So, for example, before COVID, I had my kids going to school every day from 9 to 3:30, which means that I had a lot of free time. So I had a big break during the day, because the schedule, the time that you work every day is different from family to family. And in my family, I used to have a big break because I take care of kids that go to school every day. But now with COVID, they're all being homeschooled, which means that right now I have one kid with a laptop in this room and the other kid in the living room. They're both online with their classes going on. And it's really hard to try to rearrange your daily basis when there's a lot of things going on all the time. And I just got a question if it is possible to have free time. Yes. So when you decide on being an au pair, you can choose the family that you go to. So it's not just a random family that is going to choose you, or the agency is going to choose where you go. No, you start being online in the agency, and then you have the opportunity to talk to a bunch of families. So you can choose the place that you're going, you can choose how many kids you're going to take care of, you can choose the schedule, how does the routine of the kids look like, if they go to school every day, if they spend a day at home, if one of the kids go to school or one of the kids have to stay at home. So it's all up to you. You can take care of babies, you can take care of older kids. So it's up to your experience and what you are going to choose when you're online on the agency. So I chose a family of 3 bigger kids because I wanted to speak a lot. I wanted to talk to the kids. So since babies are not able to speak, I wouldn't be able to practice my English. So that's why I wanted older kids. And I can for sure tell you that I do practice my English with 3 boys, especially in this age that they are right now. The whole day is like, Ari, see this. Ari, do you know? Ari, do you know? Ari, do you want to know that? Ari, do you know that what I did? So it's really nice to be here with them in this age, in this phase that they're going through right now, because they're always very talkative, which means that they talk a lot of times and they want to like share their day with you. So it's really good. It's overwhelming, but overwhelming in a good way. But you have your free time. According to the contract of the government, you are only able to work up to 45 hours a week. So you can work less and you can work 45, but you can't work more than 45 hours a week. So whenever you work, and just a second.
Carter's in there and he's distracting me. Like, see, Max?
Okay. I see. They're very talkative. So you work up to 45 hours a week. So you're not able to work more than that. And you can have your weekends free, depends on the family that you go to, but at least once a month you gotta have 1 weekend free. So for example, I don't work on weekends, just sometimes when the kids have activities on Saturday mornings or the parents need to do something on Saturday mornings, but it's never more than 2 or 3 hours in the morning. So I usually have my weekends off, which means that I can travel, I can do weekend trips. So I can just travel, for example, on a Friday and come back on Sunday, which is also pretty good, that you can plan your schedule and you can plan your free time ahead, working on the routine that your family has. But it's also just a matter of communication. So you can just sit down with your host family and talk to them about your time off and also about your vacations, because as an au pair, you can take 2 weeks of vacation per year. So these weeks, 1 week, it's up to you to choose, and the other week, the host family is gonna choose. So it's paid vacations. So you have in total 2 weeks in a year, per year, and also o tempo máximo possível do programa. Okay, so when you start the au pair program and you come here with a contract, it's up to 12 months. So it means that you can stay here for a year. And if you want to, you can extend your stay. So you are able to extend for either 6, 9, or 12 months. So 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months more. So my first year as an au pair ended right now in July, and I extended until next July. So I extended for 12 more months, and I extended with the same family. So I will be working the 2 years of au pairs with the same family, but I would be able to, if I wanted to, I could have extended for 6, 9, or 12 months with another family. So if I wanted to travel to another place in the US, if I wanted to have a new experience somewhere else, I would have to go somewhere else, and I would be able to extend with someone with some other family. Oh, is it good right now? Is it working? Okay, I think everybody can hear me. Sounds good. So yes, you can stay up to, in total, you are only able to stay up to 2 years in the US. The thing is that once you're an au pair, you can be an au pair again in other countries like Europe. Not a country, but like being an au pair in Europe, you can choose Switzerland, you can go to Germany, you can go to France, to Belgium. There's a lot of countries in Europe that you can go as an au pair. But if you are an au pair in the US and then you finish your term, and after a few years you want to be an au pair again, you can. It is possible, but you have to stay at least 2 years outside of the US. So if I am an au pair now and I finish my term now in 2020, I will only be able to join the program as an au pair again 2 years from now. So in 2022, I would be able to stay to join the au pair program again over and over. But for being an au pair, you need to be from 18 to 26 years old. And it's not just for girls. Men can also be au pairs. They're called bro pairs. So you have to be at least 18 years old and up to 26 years old. If you're 27 past 26, you can go to Europe as an au pair. And in Europe, I think the age limit is 30 years old. Yeah, so it's a little bit more than being able as an au pair in the US, depending on the age that you are right now. And for boys, I don't think that there is a difference between what the agency requires for you to be an au pair if you're a man. I think it's only the hours with kids. Instead of 200 hours, I think it doubles. So it has to be 400 or even 500 hours of experience with kids before that. So the other thing, it's a lot of things to talk. Goodness, I feel like I'm talking. You guys can keep sending messages in here and keep sending questions. I will be introducing it as I talk. And I feel like I've been talking a lot. But yeah. Oh, just a second. Okay. Yeah, so as an au pair, how does it work for you to the beginning process for being an au pair? How does it work? How does it look like? At first, you're going to have an interview in English. There in Brazil, my interview was in Guará. So the agency, there was an agency representative that goes to Guará a few days a month, maybe. So you can schedule it on their website. There are several agencies. There is a lot of agencies that will give you the same things. So there is not a very big difference between one agency and the other. The price is mostly the same, and the help that they're going to give you, all the feedbacks are mostly the same. So it's up to you to choose which agency you would like to subscribe to join the au pair program. I came here with a cultural care agency. So they had a representative going to Guará a few days a month, and I had the first interview. So on the first interview is the time where the person from the agency is going to ask you about your experience with the kids and how to see if your personality matches the program, is going to ask you some questions about yourself, about what you like to do in your time off. And then after that, you're going to have a small English interview. And it's from that English interview that they're going to tell you what level of English you have and what is the level that they require for the program. But it's not a very hard interview. It is not. It's basic. It's just to see if you can learn, if you can understand what they're talking about, if you're able to communicate. They're not going to be checking if the grammar is correct, or if you have sometimes you're a little shy of speaking, so they will not take that in consideration. It's mostly to see if you are able to communicate. And that doesn't mean being able to communicate perfectly and fluent. No, it's just if you're able to communicate. And after that, they're going to give you an answer by email a few days later if you're approved to keep going on the process, or if you are not, or if your profile doesn't match the requirements of the agency. And after that, if everything is okay with your hours, the proof that you took care of kids before, of your experience and your background and your English, you are going to be online in the agency. So the agency is going to put you online on their profile. You're going to have your profile, which we call the application. So you are going to submit your application with your personal references. They're going to ask you for some people that you worked for, or the people that can prove that you worked with kids for those hours that you said in the very beginning. And after that, you are going to be online in the agency. And being online, the families from the program here from the US, they are able to talk to you and to connect with your profile. So when a host family connects with your profile, that is the time that you can talk to them, and you guys can exchange emails. You can have Skype sessions. You can talk on WhatsApp. It really doesn't matter, because it's from now on, it's just you and the host family. So you can talk to a lot of host families at the same time. And that's when you're going to ask about the kids, about the routine, about the benefits that the family has, that the family is going to offer you. And one good thing now is that, talking about money, about how much does an au pair makes per week, the government gets the government requirement is that you have to pay $195.75 per week for your au pair. But from a few months now, you are able to negotiate this payment. So if you can talk to your host family before coming, if you are interested in negotiating how much you're going to make per week, you can talk to your host family before having the match. So you can actually get into an agreement with the host family before coming, or even if you're already here, if you want to talk about it. Now au pairs are allowed to do that in the program. So after that, you are going to, it is in this time that you're going to be able to ask questions for the host family. You're going to be able to meet the kids. You're going to talk to the parents. You're going to see if you guys match. And one of the main tips that we give to au pairs is that you shouldn't match with the host family depending on the place that you go, because most of your experience as an au pair is going to be determined if it's going to be good or bad because of the family. So you can live in New York City, you can live in Manhattan, you can live in the best place ever. But if your relationship with your family, if your relationship with the kids is not good, you are going to have a crappy experience. And this is the things that for us as older au pairs, as we say, we already graduate in the au pair program. We always try to tell the girls and the boys that are coming now that you should choose your program on the family. You should choose it dependent on the family. If you guys communicate well, if you feel safe talking to them, that if you feel that you guys have the same lifestyle, that you're going to have a nice relationship, that you're able to talk to each other and have a nice relationship, that is going to make your au pair year good or not. Okay. So you are able to choose your family depending on the place you want to go. Yes. You can choose whatever. You can put on your application that you would love to be an au pair in California, or that you would love to be an au pair in Texas. It is up to you. But as a tip, we would say match with the family, not with the place that you are going right now. And after that, if you have your match with the host family, and you are also able to speak to how many host families you would like, after you have your match, then the agency is going to book your flight to the US, depending on where you're going and when you're able to go. And then it starts. You get your flight to the US, and the whole routine and the whole journey as an au pair will start from there. So it is a great opportunity for you to have as an au pair with this whole process from the very beginning. And I'm already on my second year, which means that I extended for another 12 months. And we were hit by COVID. So right now there is a travel ban. So new au pairs, they are not able to come to the US right now because they're not getting visa appointments right now, unless the host family is a healthcare provider or they work for the military. So if you fit in one of these cases, you can get an exceptional visa income. But we hope the next year COVID will be done by January 1st. And then right after that, we're just going to wait to see how things are going to be like and to check when our new au pairs are going to be able to arrive to come here to the US to start their year. Okay, there is a question from a friend here. How are the people who you live there, and how do you deal with homesickness? Oh, okay. I'm just gonna explain what homesickness means in Portuguese, because it doesn't have a exact translation to Portuguese. Mas homesickness é quando você sente saudade de casa. Então, não é só a palavra saudade. Homesickness é um sentimento mais específico de saudade de casa. Então, por exemplo, eu tô aqui como au pair já faz mais de um ano e por muitas vezes bate aquela homesick, que eu sinto saudade de estar no Brasil, sinto saudade da família, é a saudade de coisas específicas, né? Então, para combater a homesick aqui nos Estados Unidos, o que a gente mais tem é amigo brasileiro. Então, é nos finais de semana que a gente se junta para fazer aquele churrasco na laje, escutar aquele pagode, escutar aquele raça negra. Aqui no Brasil você não escuta, mas quando você mora nos Estados Unidos, você sente saudade de escutar raça negra e de comer churrasco com os amigos no final de semana. Mas a gente se junta muito com os amigos, tem brasileiro em todo lugar. Então, você pode acessar nos grupos de Facebook, nos grupos de WhatsApp, você sempre está ligado na comunidade brasileira no lugar em que você mora, e com certeza você encontra muitos amigos e muitas pessoas que vão te ajudar a passar por essa fase de homesick quando você mora fora, né? Mas, coming back to the English, about my host family, now my host dad is working from home. And my host mom, she is a healthcare provider, mas o emprego da minha host mom não tem em português. Então, ela é como se fosse uma médica da área de dermatologia. Ela seria como se fosse uma médica técnica específica para dermatologia. Então, ela ainda trabalha na clínica todos os dias. E o meu host dad, ele é engenheiro de software. Então, ele pode trabalhar em casa, ele tem trabalhado de casa desde que o Covid começou. Ele trabalha, né, no escritório aqui em casa mesmo. Então, significa que eu fico com as crianças durante o dia enquanto ele trabalha, mas também não me interfere em nada. Ele fica no escritório o dia inteiro, então é muito fácil. Mas tem muitas meninas, né, muitas meninas e meninos também que estão passando por alguns bons bocados com pais trabalhando em casa todos os dias, né? O que significa que a casa está sempre cheia e que é um pouco complicado você cuidar de crianças quando os pais estão por perto, né? Então, porque se você já cuidou de criança alguma vez na vida, ou se você já foi responsável por criança que está com os pais do lado, a gente sabe que o comportamento muda um pouco, porque quer uma atenção especial, porque quer ficar com a mãe, quer ficar com o pai, né? Não entende que eles estão trabalhando. Então, durante o Covid agora, com os pais em casa 100% do tempo, tem sido um pouco difícil. No meu caso, na minha família, é diferente, porque o meu host dad trabalha lá no escritório e a minha host mom vai para a clínica todo dia. Então, eu não tenho pais em casa o dia inteiro. As crianças também são muito conscientes quando os pais estão em casa e quando eles têm que trabalhar, né, dentro de casa. As crianças são muito conscientes de saber que naquele momento eu que estou no comando, né? Então, como au pair, você é vista como uma irmã mais velha em algumas das famílias, né? Depende do seu relacionamento com a família, mas também, no meu caso, por exemplo, eu sou o terceiro adulto responsável da casa, né? Então, nós temos um relacionamento muito bom, até mesmo nos limites que a gente impõe para as crianças. Então, se eu falo algumas coisas, se eu imponho alguma coisa para as crianças, ou se eu falo, por exemplo, você não pode brincar com esse brinquedo agora, ou então você não vai comer esse doce agora. Mesmo que os pais estejam em casa, eles vão falar, olha, o que a Ari falou? A Ari falou que pode? A Ari falou que você está liberado para fazer isso? Não? Então é a Ari que está no comando. Então você tem que escutar ela, tem que respeitar ela, né? E isso também depende do relacionamento que você tem com a sua host family, né? Dos limites que você impõe, do quanto que a comunicação de vocês acontece, qual é a maneira que as crianças são criadas, porque a maneira de criação é muito diferente da que a gente tem no Brasil. São muitos detalhes que fazem com que, para muitas pessoas, seja um desafio muito grande por conta do choque cultural. Então, o choque cultural não é fácil, ainda mais quando você mora com os seus chefes. Esse era o outro ponto do au pair, que até vou falar em português, porque meu hosted está aqui na cozinha agora, então é bom a gente poder falar em português. Que um dos maiores desafios de ser au pair é que você mora onde você trabalha. Então, para muitas pessoas é difícil você, por exemplo, se você agora durante o Covid está trabalhando em casa, eu tenho certeza que você já sabe, né, já sentiu como que é difícil você se disciplinar a trabalhar no mesmo local em que você mora, né? E como au pair, você vai estar trabalhando e quando você terminar de trabalhar, você vai continuar ali com a família, você vai continuar ali com as crianças. É claro que você tem o seu tempo off, você pode terminar o seu horário de trabalho, né, durante o dia e sair à noite, você pode ver seus amigos, você pode jantar fora, você pode entrar no seu quarto, fechar a porta e ficar sozinho, você pode fazer o que você quiser, né? Mas ainda há aquele sentimento de que você mora onde você trabalha. Então, é cansativo. O psicológico, às vezes, precisa ser colocado no lugar de que é uma fase, de que é temporário. E também bate a homesickness, como eu falei, né? Sobre o sentimento de saudade de casa, de saudade do Brasil, de saudade dos amigos. Mas é algo que você... É um dos maiores benefícios do au pair, que te permite que você tenha esses desafios, que são internos, são coisas que você tem que resolver com você mesmo, não é por fatores externos, não é a host family que vai te ajudar, não é a viagem que você vai fazer no final de semana que vai te fazer sentir melhor, não. É você com você mesmo. Então, é você se conhecer, é você colocar os seus limites, é você saber se impor, é você saber comunicar os seus sentimentos, o que você sente, né? Se você tá feliz, se você não tá, se você tá satisfeito, se não. E é um trajeto, é uma jornada de autoconhecimento. Então, não é só um intercâmbio cultural, não é só você trabalhar para uma família americana e cuidar das crianças. É muito legal, tem muitos pontos altos, mas como qualquer coisa na vida, é uma montanha-russa. Tem dias que vai estar tudo ótimo e tem dias que as coisas não estarão tão boas assim. Especialmente quando você não está se comunicando no seu idioma, quando você tem que resolver problemas ou que você tem que discutir algumas coisas ou discutir insatisfações em outro idioma. Isso muda completamente o cenário. Mas é uma das coisas mais fascinantes sobre o au pair é isso. É que você entra no processo de au pair como uma pessoa e você finaliza o seu au pair como outra pessoa diferente. É um processo de autoconhecimento espetacular, de resiliência, e ainda mais agora durante tempos de corona, né? Já faz com que isso seja ainda mais notório, de você ver que depende de você fazer o seu intercâmbio ser bom ou o seu intercâmbio ser ruim, né? Estou recebendo aqui alguns comentários, eu não estou conseguindo ler todos ao mesmo tempo ou de fazer as perguntas. Professora Tassiana, se quiser se juntar, if you want to join me in the live again, to ask questions or to help me read some comments around in here. I don't know if I should continue speaking in English or if you guys want to hear some more Portuguese. You guys can send your comments. I will be doing whatever you prefer. If it is better for me to keep going in English or if you want me to talk a little bit more about a specific topic in Portuguese, I am open for that too. Let me try to see if I can get it right now. Ok. Alguém perguntou se o investimento financeiro é muito grande. Ok, o investimento financeiro seria da seguinte maneira. Olá, Patrícia.
Pode responder, Aryane, pode responder.
Isso é que eu só consegui pegar aqui agora sobre essa pergunta do investimento financeiro. O programa de au pair é o intercâmbio mais barato que você pode pensar em fazer. Então, esse é um dos grandes benefícios e é o maior chamativo, né, para que muitas pessoas decidam em vir ser au pair. Então, eu estava até aqui agora aberto com a página da agência para ver os valores atualizados, né, de quanto custa para ser uma au pair hoje. Então, por exemplo, como eu falei, a primeira entrevista para saber sobre o seu perfil, se você se encaixa no programa de au pair, e a entrevista para saber o seu nível de inglês vai custar R$40. Isso eu estou fazendo com base no site da Cultural Care, que é a agência que eu vim para cá. Então, tem essa taxa de R$40 para você fazer a primeira entrevista. Se aprovado na entrevista, você ficar online na agência, são R$310. Então, só esse processo inicial, para você começar a conversar com as famílias, você vai pagar R$350, tá? Quando você fica online pela agência e você começa a conversar, começa a ter contato com as famílias, não tem um tempo limite para você fechar o seu match. Então, você pode ficar online 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, você pode ficar online 12 meses, conversando com famílias, até você encontrar uma família que vai fazer um match legal com você. E a gente brinca sobre match como se fosse um Tinder mesmo. E é basicamente como se fosse como o Tinder funciona. Não que eu saiba como o Tinder funciona, mas é basicamente dessa maneira. O seu perfil está disponível e as famílias vão ver o seu perfil e decidir conectar com você. Então, você não decide as famílias que entram em contato com você, e então vocês começam a conversar. A partir dessa comunicação, né, pode levar uma semana, pode levar um dia, pode levar 2 meses. A família, se vocês estiverem numa vibe legal e vocês acharem que é bacana, vocês fecharem um match, que vocês vão ter um bom programa de au pair para ambos os lados, a família solicita fechar o match. E aí vocês decidem entre si e, finalmente, book your flight para os Estados Unidos. Só que a taxa do programa, a taxa da agência, que é quanto o programa de au pair custa, você paga depois de fechar o seu match. Como não tem um tempo certo para você continuar conversando e ter o seu match com a família, você só paga a taxa da agência depois do seu match. O que neste momento está em torno de R$4.000. Só que a taxa é em dólar, então depende muito da cotação do dólar do dia, mas geralmente é em torno de R$3.900, R$4.000. E essas são as taxas do programa. Essas são as taxas do programa de au pair. Então, contando com a entrevista inicial e com a taxa para você ficar online, é em torno de R$4.500. Fora isso, depois do seu match, você tem que tirar o visto. E o visto custa $160. Esse valor não muda, é sempre $160, pelo menos nos últimos 10 anos tem sido assim. E aí sim vai depender da cotação do dólar que você vai estar pagando no dia. Então são as taxas da agência que você vai pagar, depois do match, $160 do seu visto, e o seu voo para os Estados Unidos é pago pela agência também. Então você não precisa se preocupar com o seu voo, tanto de ida quanto de volta do programa, são pagos pela agência. Então o seu investimento financeiro são as taxas da agência, o visto, a CNH, que é um requerimento que eu não conto como investimento do intercâmbio, porque a CNH a gente usa, pré-requisito para tanta coisa, né? Ainda mais no Brasil, a gente precisa dirigir em muitos casos, então eu acabo não contando como custo da agência, mas você precisa da CNH também para vir ser au pair. In English, I'm going to go back to English now, that I already talked a lot in Portuguese. I got a question about the biggest challenges that I faced since I graduated and I moved here. Okay, that is a really, really interesting question, because if you graduated in your country and if you already have an area that you used to work in, it can be really challenging for you to stop everything that you're doing and spend a year abroad doing something that has absolutely nothing to do with the area that you graduated in your home country. So for example, I graduated in commercial management. I used to work at a shopping mall with marketing as a marketing intern. So I used to work with the stores on the mall. I used to work with the administrative areas of the mall. So it was a pretty active job. And I was applying everything that I was learning at my college on my job. When you stop everything for being an au pair, you need to have in mind that it's an exchanging program. So it is a different routine, it is a different reality, it is different than what you were doing before coming here. Unless you worked as a teacher in your home country, or if you already worked with kids, or if you worked at a school, or if you are willing, or if you want to project your career in this field, then it's going to be an experience that is going to help you in your current job in Brazil or your career. Otherwise, I think the opportunities for you to improve your language skills and going back to your home country with so much better, higher level of English, it's something that it's already going to help you with your career a lot. And other things, for example, that I want to share with you is that one of the other benefits of the au pair program is that the host family provides you a $500 per year that you stay here for you to study. So, for example, this last month, I took my $500 to study at Stanford University with a social media marketing course. So you can also study things that are in your field, things that are going to help you in your resume when you go back to Brazil. So you can actually get your job, your working with the kids program apart from what you want to study and how you want to improve your career after the au pair. So it's up to you how you're going to use your time and how you're going to be able to match your schedule with the things that you want to work, how much effort you want to put in that, and how much time you want to be dedicated to studying, either if it's like studying English or studying some other courses, it doesn't matter. But it's up to you to choose what you want to study, right? Since we are all adults, and for being an au pair, you need to be an adult. No one's going to tell you what to do, and no one's going to tell you what you need to study or what are the skills that you are going to improve being an au pair. They're actually going to help you with your career, right? So it's up to you what you want to study in here and how do you want this to affect when building your career after the au pair, right? And a friend asked, if any way, did you feel any kind of prejudice from North Americans? Well, my experience is not the same as other au pairs' experience. I can say for me that I have never gone through any kind of prejudice in here, not because of the level of my English or because of the country that I come from. No, for me, it was always all the relationships that I have had in here with host family, with friends, with my host kids, they were all based in a lot of respect. So people respect the country that I came from. And usually they show a lot of interest on knowing a little bit more about Brazil, about what language we speak, and about how our country looks like. It's mostly being curious about my culture than having some kind of prejudice. But of course, I live in Washington State. I live in Seattle area. So some people can have different experiences. Some people can have I have some people that I know, some friends that I know that have been through a little bit of prejudice, depending on where they come from, because of stereotypes, as the same way that we also, it's very wrong, but we also in Brazil sometimes stereotype some cultures, stereotype some countries. But it's if you are able to share your culture, to share the place you come from, it's already a barrier that you can take down, that you can put down related to the country that you come from. So I can't say that that I have been through a situation that was bad because of that, because I haven't. But for some people, they can have different experiences in this scenario. Yeah, the biggest challenges that I faced is the feeling that sometimes you are not up to date with the market. So, for example, right now, my au pair is gonna my second year is gonna end in July next year. So I still have like 8 months, and sometimes I freak out a little bit about what I'm gonna do after the au pair. So I have no idea what to do or where to go, and how the job market's gonna be in Brazil, how are gonna be the job offerings in Brazil when I come back, or if I can find an opportunity here or an opportunity in Canada or any other country. So I think this is one of the biggest challenges, because when you become an exchanging student, you see that the world is not that big as you think. So you see that your opportunities grow in a very big way. And if you can deal with homesickness, you can go to another country. You can do absolutely, like, there is a lot of things there that you can do and you can plan on doing after the au pair. So right now, this is my biggest challenge, is deciding what am I going to do after the au pair, because there's a lot of options and there's a lot of thoughts in this mind that just gets me a little confused. Muito legal, me fez relembrar quando passei por essa experiência. Nossa, será que tem ex-au pair aqui? Ah, isso é muito bom. Se você já foi au pair, você sabe como que é. É um programa muito bom, é um programa maravilhoso, que te dá muitos benefícios e muitas oportunidades. E a maneira que você decide em utilizar essas oportunidades é o que vai dizer se você vai ter um programa de au pair proveitoso ou não. Um dos maiores desafios é esse. Mas, na maioria das vezes, mesmo que você não tenha uma experiência satisfatória pela família, né? Você pode trocar de família quando você já está no programa, né? Se acontecer alguma coisa, ou se simplesmente você não se sentir bem no local em que você está, a agência te dá esse suporte para que você troque de família, mesmo durante o programa. Então, você tem todo esse embasamento de você poder escolher onde você vai estar, se colocando a sua segurança e o seu bem-estar em primeiro lugar, né? É perceptível demais o quanto esse programa está fazendo bem para você. Ai, muito obrigada, amiga. Ai. Sinto muita saudade da FATEC. I miss FATEC so much. I miss my friends. I miss being there, able to see the teachers every day. It's just crazy. And that's why I'm really glad to be here today. It's amazing.
Okay. Aryane, okay? So,
yep, I can hear it.
Well, unfortunately, we already have to finish in a little while. So I'd like to thank you enormously. You know why? Because it was so, beautiful to hear you after all this time. You were my student. Like 2 years ago, we had this very close relationship because you were our teacher's assistant. Ela era monitora de inglês, né, dos professores de inglês da FATEC, and we worked very closely together. And she did such a great job at that time. And now, after this time that she's been living in the United States, I could notice the difference. She already had great English, and she could get even better with her experience. But what I wanted her to make sure and tell you with her own words, maybe even in Portuguese, Aryane, is that it is really possible to learn English here in Brazil, even if you don't have the chance to go abroad as she did. She had this great opportunity, and she had an awesome experience as an au pair, as she has been telling you so far. But it's really important to know that she was already monitora de inglês before she went to the States. It means that she learned English beforehand, right? Would you please let them know that that's really possible, and maybe just give them a few tips before you leave, please?
For sure, yes. Eu vou falar em português as dicas, porque aí já consigo abranger muito mais para as pessoas que estão aqui escutando. Mas eu aprendi inglês, eu comecei a me interessar muito mais por inglês quando eu tinha em torno de 17 anos. Eu sempre gostei de inglês, eu queria saber algumas palavras, eu conseguia entender algumas coisas, mas eu comecei a estudar mesmo inglês quando eu tinha em torno de 17 anos. Hoje eu tenho 24. Então, antes de vir para cá, meu inglês já tinha um nível avançado de compreensão, de fala, de escrita, porque eu escutava muita música em inglês. Eu procurava as traduções das músicas que eu escutava, porque eu queria adquirir vocabulário. Eu tentava assistir filme, série em inglês, com legenda em inglês, porque tem muitas coisas que você não vai conseguir ativar com seu listening, mas se você estiver escutando e lendo ao mesmo tempo, você consegue compreender melhor e fazer uma associação mais didática do que você está tentando compreender, né? Então, eu com certeza posso afirmar que é muito possível você ter um nível de inglês avançado e até mesmo fluente, sem ter uma experiência em outro país, sem ter esse contato com a língua direto com nativos, né? Até porque eu também tenho conhecidos aqui que moram nos Estados Unidos há anos e não falam nada de inglês. Então, tudo depende do quanto você está apto e quanto você decide a se expor ao idioma. E com a internet, com as ferramentas que a gente tem, né, gratuitas no YouTube, em plataformas, né, você consegue sim aprender inglês e se expor ao idioma de maneira muito fácil, né? Existem milhares de ferramentas, existem milhares de canais no YouTube que te ajudam, as aulas, os materiais didáticos que os professores introduzem para vocês, é o início de tudo isso. Mas os professores não vão estar com você todos os dias em casa para garantir que você se exponha ao idioma, que você mantenha esse interesse de expandir o que você já sabe, né? Então, eu aprendi na marra mesmo no Brasil, aprendi muito com as aulas na FATEC. Eu não era aluna das aulas de inglês porque eu conseguia eliminar no início do curso, mas eu fazia questão de participar das aulas, porque mesmo sem precisar de notas, sem precisar passar na disciplina, você sempre aprende uma coisa nova todos os dias, né? E foca no vocabulário. A gramática você vai pegando com a fala, com o tempo. Mas se você conseguir focar no seu vocabulário, aumenta o seu leque de palavras-chave para que você compreenda o que está acontecendo numa conversa, para que você se comunique. E a gramática você vai estudando, você estuda, né, com essa passagem, mas se você focar bem no seu vocabulário, você consegue expandir o que você entende e o que você fala, por consequência.
Exatamente. Eu queria muito que a Aryane terminasse a fala dela, expondo para vocês que estão assistindo agora, que realmente é possível aprender inglês no Brasil, como ela falou, e que a gente, como professor, a gente tenta mostrar para vocês os vários caminhos, mas a responsabilidade pela aprendizagem é de cada um. Você tem que assumir a responsabilidade pela sua própria aprendizagem. Você não pode delegar para a FATEC, ou para o material didático, ou para um curso de inglês. É você, com o seu próprio esforço, seu interesse, e, acima de tudo, a sua motivação. Você tem que estar motivado e consciente de que o inglês pode abrir portas para você na sua vida profissional e que isso impacta diretamente na sua vida pessoal, é claro, não é mesmo? Então, Aryane, eu estou muito orgulhosa de verdade de perceber como que você já era excelente antes de sair, né, do Brasil para ter essa experiência no exterior, e já era excelente e ficou ainda mais excelente. Seu inglês está maravilhoso, super fluente, vocabulário riquíssimo, parece uma nativa conversando, né? Então, isso daí nos deixa muito orgulhosos de perceber que você teve essa oportunidade na sua vida, você merece, pelo seu esforço, sua simpatia, seu talento. Além de tudo, é cantora, sabe? Para quem não conhece, é uma pessoa super engajada em todas as atividades da faculdade e serve realmente de inspiração para todos vocês, nossos alunos que estão na faculdade, fazer parte de tudo, contribuir com tudo, sempre ajudar, sempre disposta, maravilhosa. Thank you so much for coming to share your awesome experience with us, and I'm really, really very proud of you. Congratulations, and I hope we have the chance to keep in touch, and maybe we have the chance to have another meeting here and invite the students to participate.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Aryane, for your time and for sharing your great experience with us.
Thank you guys for this opportunity. I loved it. And whenever you guys want it, just give me a call. And if someone here has a question or you want to share something, you can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm always available for helping.
Muito legal. Agradeço mais uma vez, então, como eu fiz no início, né, dessa nossa conversa, ao professor Albert e ao Pedro, aí, o apoio técnico para que essa live acontecesse, e também a equipe de eventos da FATEC, a Carol Baracho, que está sempre conosco, e toda a equipe. E a special thanks to teacher, professora Patrícia Januária, for the invitation to come and host this live here with Aryane Molero today. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. I'll see you around. Bye-bye, people.
Goodbye, guys. Thanks.